Emily, it's been about 7 months since tornadoes swept through the metro. Some people are still trying to recover.
Dealing with a devastating situation like this can take a toll on your mental health. As First Alert 6's Johan Marin reports, that's why there's a new state program to help you navigate tough times.
Mark Munchrath is helping fix homes in the Ramblewood neighborhood.
We're working on 4 of them in here right now.
This is one of many metro areas that was hit hard by the tornadoes in April. While the Elkhorn neighborhood is starting to see some life again, there's still a lot of work to do.
I'm watching these guys over here tear apart these foundations and thinking that'd be hard to watch if it was mine.
Thomas Janisek, the director of behavioral health for the state, says situations like this can take a toll on mental health. He says it can often cause depression or lead you to feeling overwhelmed and lonely.
Sometimes those mental health effects kind of continue on, and we just want to make sure that those individuals continue to have support.
That support is now available through a new state program, the Nebraska Recovery Project.
It's really anything that the individual needs, so that when someone reaches out to this program, what'll happen is they'll be engaged by a member of the team who will be able to arrange either telehealth, in-person, or web communication services for the individual.
Munchrath hopes people reach out and get the help they need.
Don't give up hope. I think there's always somebody that'll come back and help out.
In Elkhorn, I'm Johan Marin, First Alert 6.
If you're interested in the services that the Nebraska Recovery Project has to offer, you can find more information online at firstalerts6.com.